Hello, everybody. Since there's not many of you right now, we don't have many questions from you, so we choose our own topics. And today I researched one topic that's I think quite interesting, and Caleb doesn't know about the topic. So I'm gonna talk today about one of the most hated job in Czech Republic.
Oh,
You can guess which one is that. Do you have any idea?
garbage collector?
We're gonna get to it soon.
President.
So garbage collector, that's too weak. That's fine. That's just the job that stinks. But this job I'm talking about, it's the job that other people will hate you for it because
Oh,
it's the public transport inspector.
yeah.
Yeah. Because here
Yeah.
in Czech Republic we have a great public transport.
Yeah.
And we have a subway in the Prague, trams, buses,
Mhm.
and for all of these you can get inside. Most of them you can get inside and outside freely,
Mhm.
but it means you have to take care of the tickets by yourself.
Mhm.
So it
Means
means
there's no gate to enter them or
there's no-
something.
well,
you
there-
just walk in.
there are gates, but they are open,
Mhm.
so you can just walk in. So it means there must be somebody that is like checking if you have the ticket, and we have these instructors. In the Prague, actually, there's 150 of these inspectors.
Only 150.
Only 150 are like in the job, but only 2/3 are like active per day. So it
Okay.
means like every day there's going to be like 100 inspectors.
I expected more, honestly. I thought there
I
would be more.
expect too, yeah.
Yeah.
This is quite surprising even for me.
That means it's easier than I thought to avoid that.
Well, I have like statistic for some other smaller town, like in Brno, it's 60, Ostrava is 50, Plzeň it's 23.
Mhm.
Like basically, and logically, the smaller the town is, the less they have the inspectors, because not a lot of people wants to do it.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people can do it actually.
Not a great job. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you that, or you can guess how many tickets per day in Prague are like validated.
Like sold and used.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many tickets? One day in Prague
One day
for all three kinds of transport.
the problem is that most Czechs don't use the tickets. They will buy a pass, which means I'm going to guess something
Just guess.
low. 200,000.
It's much lower. It's 61,000.
61,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so even
But-
lower.
Even lower.
Because
but
I know that
Yeah.
the Prague Metro transports the
Mhm.
most people per capita, I think, of any public transportation system in the world, something like that. And it's it's like 500,000 people a
Mhm.
day use the transportation system.
well, then it means
Most of them are Czechs.
It probably doesn't count like the card you have,
Mhm.
inspector's card, because
Yeah.
this is all about the tickets.
Right.
And it also means we have probably a lot of black passengers.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
that's why
Mhm.
we need the inspectors. Or
By
Oh,
black
not we, but-
by black passenger,
Yeah.
because this doesn't translate well.
okay,
Meaning this is the phrase for someone who's going without a ticket.
can be white.
Yeah, could be a white person, or has nothing to do with Anyway,
Okay.
just want to clear
Okay.
that up.
The next thing I want to point out is that like the inspector is gonna have like the morning shift, or in the middle of the day, or even night shift. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
He can count you like anytime
Mm-hmm.
and
Catch you.
catch you. Yeah.
Not gonna-
Okay. And what he should be doing is to spend a third of his time in the subway,
Mhm.
in the bus, in the tram.
Okay.
I'm not sure how it's
Hmm.
accurate, but that's
Yeah.
what like the company for public transport wants the
Okay.
inspector to do.
Mhm.
I cannot say if it's like true because I see them mostly in subway. the
Same.
most.
I think I can't remember the last time that I saw them on a bus or a
Mhm.
tram. They're usually in the
Mhm.
metro. I think it's easier for them.
But
It-
how you can actually spot them in the subway? They usually have this like black,
Mhm.
dark, more
Maybe
of a
dark
blue,
gray.
dark
Yeah. Dark
dark
blue.
blue uniform.
Mhm.
But in the bus or trams, they can like be invisible because they don't need any
Could be undercover.
undercover.
Why do you know why they don't go undercover in the metros? Because it would be so much easier for them.
I don't know reason for that.
Mm.
Maybe it's gonna change,
And it is a government job,
but
right?
sometimes they do. It
Okay.
depends. It's not the government's job; it's the job of the company.
It's a private company.
Well, that's another point I wanted to say. But let's get
Mhm.
back to the inspectors.
Mhm.
So the inspectors are usually two because Czechs or other people might be aggressive
Mhm.
and they don't have a ticket. So they could be two, usually two. And as you asked, like it's donated by Czech Republic, by the state. All the
Donated?
tickets. I mean, like the price for the ticket.
Uh-huh.
The country puts money into the public transport,
Mm-hmm.
so it makes the tickets cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Now the tickets it's 24 crowns.
Mhm.
If there would be no money from the country, it would be 70 crowns. So it would be a lot more expensive.
Wow. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Poof.
So if the inspector gonna go to you, he should show you his badge.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's gonna, of course, ask you to show the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have it, you have to pay. You can choose. You can pay at the site, or you can pay in 14 days. That's the like two options. Basically, give him the money right away,
Mm-hmm.
or if you don't have the money, he's gonna give you a receipt, and you're gonna pay it. You have to pay like before 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I think
So-
it's important for foreigners to know that they're not required to pay on the spot,
Mhm.
that they could take the receipt and to pay it at the
Yeah.
office later.
But yeah, if you're gonna pay, you're gonna still get the receipt.
Mm-hmm.
But if you run, he might chase you because he's not allowed to to give you handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
But he is actually allowed to hold you by some means before the police came. So if you do not cooperate, he's gonna go call for the police,
Mm-hmm.
and he's able, like by law,
Mm-hmm.
he is possible to hold you,
Restrain you.
to restrain you.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people are running, so there can be some fights.
I've seen a couple.
Yeah. So have you been a black passenger since you've been in Czech Republic? And have you been actually caught by the inspector?
Yes to both.
Okay. So do you remember how much you paid? Or you just ran away?
No, I didn't run.
Okay.
Like,
Good.
well, let's see. One time, it was a long time ago.
Mhm.
I don't remember. I think something like 800 crowns at that
It's
time.
exactly 800.
Still?
If you pay it on the site, it's 800.
Okay.
If you don't have the money with you,
Mhm.
you're gonna get a receipt, and you can pay still 800 before 2 weeks. After the
Mhm.
2 weeks, it's gonna rise to 1500.
Okay. I thought the second time it was more, but I guess okay, if it's still 800.
It should be still 800.
The one time I was riding as a black passenger for a couple of months, but I didn't realize it because I had read the expiration date wrong.
Okay, so it was not on the purpose.
It wasn't on purpose.
Okay.
That time.
Okay.
No, the other time it was like I was in a hurry. I didn't have coins, and at that time the machine was just taking coins, which was so annoying to try to get. And I was visiting Prague. it wasn't one of the times that I lived here. So I thought, oh, what are the chances of
Now
getting
let's
caught?
say it's a lot easier now because it takes cards,
Yeah.
it takes
Mhm.
everything, and actually 1 year like card
Mhm.
is really cheap.
There's
So
there's no excuse now.
there's no excuse
Yeah.
now. And the fine of the 2016, like they were collected
Mhm.
by the inspectors,
Mhm.
was almost 300,000
300,000 crowns.
pieces. 300,000 pieces.
300,000 times. So
300 times,
at least 800 crowns, 300,000 times.
Yeah, so it makes
Wow.
like 140 million. And
Wait,
for
how many fines is that per day?
well, it doesn't mean that everybody pays, you know.
True, but that's how many people they're catching per day.
Yeah.
Um,
You can check it.
yeah. But yeah, they're catching like 800
Yeah.
people.
So like 100 people, 80 people per day
Mhm.
per
Well, they're
person.
so they're catching at least like 800 people
No,
a
actually,
day
no.
on average.
Actually, just 8. One inspector
Should catch 8 people a
should
day.
get 8 people. Yeah, that sounds
true.
about right.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Still, it
Yeah.
means because I think these days it's not that easy to find people who are going without a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, I would say like 10 or 12 years ago, every time I saw them, it seemed like they caught someone. But now, like, people have the cards. I think tourists understand the system better.
Well, I think they go mostly for the tourists first if they see some, and if there's no
Yes.
tourist around, they just start.
This part really
Checking
annoys
everybody.
me because they're targeting the people who don't understand the system, who aren't trying to do something wrong, but this annoys me.
The last section
Mm-hmm.
is how much money do inspectors actually earn?
Mm-hmm.
You are probably interested about that.
Yeah.
Well, the basic is 15,000 crowns. And
a month?
that's the basic. There's a 30% of something's called collective bonuses, whatever that means.
Mm-hmm.
So it means 500 plus. And then there's extra money for every caught passenger. But it depends. If he's going to pay right away, the inspector is going to get 100.
Mm-hmm.
If he's going to pay within the 14 days,
Uh-huh.
the inspector is going to get 150. But if he's not going to pay before the 14 days,
Uh-huh.
he's going to get only 40. So it's in the inspector's interest to catch someone
Uh-huh.
and make him pay, actually.
Right. And
So it means the paid for the month for any inspector would be like from 30,000 to even 60 if he's really active.
mm-hmm. That's a very interesting system. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about motivating these employees.
Well, I think it's really
like
hard
this.
to get people to this job at all. So
True.
it needs some like motivation, not to only be in the job, but to make really people
But
buy
also,
the tickets.
I mean, the way to get people into the job would be to give a really good base salary because, like this, it's just recruiting bounty hunters, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So, and also when they're catching foreigners, it means like not even telling them there's an option to pay later because they know that those people might just not pay and leave the country. So they're going to pressure them to try to pay now, which then can end in some bad situations.
Or sometimes you maybe noticed they are not only the inspectors but police too.
Yeah, often they're there. If they're actually setting up like a ticket trap somewhere, often the police are like right around the corner. But even if the police come and you tell them that you don't have the money now and you want to pay later, then there was one time that I was caught and I said that I didn't have 800. I only had like 400.
Right.
And he accepted 400. Which actually probably means that he didn't fill out a ticket form at all, that it went right into his pocket.
Right. So it means he got 4 times more for you.
True. So we're not recommending that.
We're not recommending, but actually that reminds me of a one-time thing that was in the news that actually somebody that was not supposed to were collecting money. He was like pretending to be inspector.
Yeah.
So just make sure if you get inspected, he show you the badge first. We're gonna show you the picture here, how the badge looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, just buy a ticket. It's so cheap to get tickets.
Yeah.
If you're here
And
for a
if
few
you
days.
get caught, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like over expensive.
No, it's not too bad. 800
It's
crowns, what is that?
800,
30
and
euros,
actually,
a little
I
bit more.
think if you pay the fee, you're gonna get a 24-hour ticket.
Oh, really?
So it's like
I
expensive
forgot about
24-hour
that.
ticket, but
Right.
you're gonna like basically buy an expensive ticket.
For 30 euros.
Yeah.
So it could be worse.
But we advise you to definitely get a ticket so you have no problem. Even though there's like only 100 per day, don't count with it. Don't count on it.
Yeah. Because they are around. And if you're watching this video,
yeah.
you're probably not Czech, which means they will probably target you because they think that you're more likely to not understand the system.
Yeah.
Which
so
is
the
unfortunate.
more reason to get a ticket.
Yeah. And if you encounter them, like, just so you know what they are expecting from you and that they want to see your ticket, because it can be confusing seeing all the people like just walking into the metro without stamping anything, without doing anything. But that's because people who live here, we all have like a season pass. But if you're visiting, you need to buy a ticket and to stamp it and be ready to show it to the inspector.
Very true.
So thank you for that information, Mikhail.
Welcome. I think it's interesting only not to foreigners but to Czechs too, because I didn't know these things. Like these are some details that I collected like all over the different sources, and I find it interesting.
Nice.
Too.
Yep.
So if you want to see more interesting things and you don't want us to think of the topics, please leave the questions in the comments.
Yep.
And there's a high possibility right now. There's actually a very high possibility that we're gonna do your question.
Yep.
So
subscribe, like our video, write to us in the comments, and we thank you very much for watching.
And see you next time.